when it comes down to actually creating art, if you meant to write a C and you wrote a U, okay, that's a mistake. But nobody's going to tell me, oh, hey, you did that wrong. You should have done this. Hello, I am NEBULUSFLAIR. I am an artist, well, at this point, I want to say I'm a creative in Philadelphia because I've started body painting, I've started, regular canvas art. Now I'm into like modeling, and it's a whole bunch of stuff I'm like trying to get into. So I'm a creative from Philly. I'm gonna leave it there.
And I'll get into the questions.
Okay.
What is your perception of art?
Well, my perception of art is kind of because it changed my life in a way that it was like much needed. So like art to me is a life changer, it's a life saver. um Art is anything that you can think of really that brings you joy when you know that you're using your mind. Art is like meditative. Art is releasing. Like art is just what you need to do to just get it all out. Like that's how I feel about art.
Um, what prompted you to start making art?
Well, when I began, it was I read something a long time ago that said like in order, one of the keys to like happiness is to always have something to look forward to. And when I began painting, it was like, I wasn't in college. It was after high school, and then I was about like 21, 22. And while I'm looking around and everybody's graduating and everyone's doing this, and all I've ever had was just a job. I've always just had a job. I always about going to work, making money, and things like that. So it got to the point where it was nothing special going on in my life. Like it was nothing special. I didn't come from like a background of doing art or any extracurricular activities, really nothing that I really stuck with as a child. But then when I started art, it really started out as like curiosity, and like I don't know, it kind of just like fell into my lap. And that's why I feel like art is so magical, because it literally fell into my lap. Because if you would have told me even prior to 2 weeks of me painting that this was going to be my life, it wouldn't have never registered. Like I'd have been like, what are you talking about? Like it just was like I woke up and I wanted to paint, and I haven't stopped like since. So
How has your environment shaped your art?
um I'm way more expressive now than I ever was in my life. I guess because of the chances that I've been given. Well, not the chances, but like the opportunities and the people that I surround myself with now. Like I've met so many like cool people, like amazing people through, painting. So many people in the city that I've met, like that that I can really truly honestly call friends, and I would have never met them no other way. That it's just like literally like I walked into Narnia. And like my environment from where it was before I started painting to now is like I'm not afraid to take certain chances. I am still, it definitely being in this new environment, cause that art has brought me. It's definitely some challenges that I have to like overcome still to this day, but um, it's shaped because it's like it really shaped me. Like even if when you walk into my apartment, it's me. It's like this. It shaped me to the point where as though I'm who I am completely, not under the influence of like someone else. Like in that reshaped the environment within me. Like how I deal on a day to day, like situations and things like that. Like it brought a lot of strength to me. Um, Even as far as something as simple as being able to say no more. Like art has brought that to me. Art has changed my environment in a way where it's like I'm in more control than I than anything else would have brought me.
Let's see. Are there any mistakes that you made that has shaped your art?
Yeah, I make a lot of mistakes, even up to this day. Like, as far as doubting myself, I doubt myself a lot, and I will miss opportunities and chances to win. Um, Mistakes as far as like I said, I don't have any formal training, so I didn't go to school. So if I wanted to draw my nose like that on a piece of paper, that's how I'm going to draw it. And nobody's going to tell me that it's wrong, and I'm not, things like that. I never cared about things like things like I've made mistakes in painting, and then I've just created something from that mistake. So mistakes are biased in art.
So would you say there's no mistakes in art?
No, there's mistakes as far as like marketing, branding, things like that. But when it comes down to actually creating art, if you meant to write a C and you wrote a U, okay, that's a mistake. But nobody's going to tell me, oh, hey, you did that wrong. You should have done this. Or, or even if it's something in my head that I'm like, I should have done that, I don't count it as a mistake. It's a learning type of thing with me. It'll always be a learning thing. Like, because from your mistakes, you learn, so I take it as yourself to be like, hey, you have to learn how to do this, or you might have to learn how to do that. And that's something that art has taught me, like being like having to reach out to people and do things where as though I've always just been like into myself. So that's another thing that I think I would want women to get out of my art, even as far as like self-healing. A lot of my art is really personal, and so it'll be like I'll go through like a phase or a lesson or a situation, and whatever I take from that situation, I put it on a canvas, and it'll be, something really, really, personal or something like that. But I do want women to be able to look at my art and see like, okay, the strength is there. Like regardless of anything else, like you have to be strong, you have to persevere, like you have to be true to you and everything. And then like the vibrant colors and everything. Like I just want women to be able to look at it and feel energized to like do whatever they feel as though they want to do with no restriction, no apologies or anything. Like that's what I want women to get from my art.
Have you taken anything else for that?
Not really. It's crazy because right around the time I first started painting, I was getting into Black history more than what I was just taught in school. I was blowing my mind. Like it was to the point where I would wake up and all I wanted to do was talk about, you know, Black people problems. The first person that I saw, and that's all I was tweeting about, and that's all my posts were about. Then I would get into it deep with, about the government and everything, and I never connected it with my art. It was always two separate things. It was always like how I felt about it, vocalizing it, and then whatever my art was, I didn't. I don't know. It's like it's two different chambers in me, and I haven't combined them yet. So no, I haven't. I'm not necessarily ashamed to say that I haven't taken a political stance. I just know me personally that when it's time for me to get something off my chest, I gotta get off my chest, and painting it out is not the route that I'm not able to do that with painting quite just yet.
Yeah, that's okay.
Is you definitely got the Philly art scene, and then you got the more grungier Philly art scene. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that the more grungier underground there is everywhere got their things with them. Every group, cliques and things like that. But the underground scene definitely is coming from a place where it's like you ain't trying to really impress nobody. You just trying to get this shit off your chest,
Yeah.
like and then you got the art scene where it's like it is about impressing people. It is about how people think about you. So oftentimes I find myself in the middle, secluded. But there's
definitely is.
there's definitely an underground art scene. Very, very, very genuine people. I know there a lot of those people that are not in the mainstream art scene. People are my closest friends, mentors, and things like that. That's where I learned from. Honestly, like that's where I learned everything that I know.
I
From
kind of feel the same way. You get more authentic art when
yeah,
it's real.
right, really.